Okay, so let's continue to take a look at this cross tabulation with 100% as the row percentage. So that means 100% of female being considered. 46.2% of the female would actually prefer A. 53.8% of the females would actually prefer B. Similarly, out of 100% of this male, 66.7% of the male would prefer A. 33.3% of the male would prefer B. Okay, so that is what you can get if you set the row percentage as the percentage that you checked. Now let's see how do we use the graphs to talk about the relationship between the gender and candidate. So same thing as we did before. Go analyze descriptive statistics and go frequencies. And my bad. So analyze and we go descriptive statistics and go cross tabs. And this time let's check display cluster bar charts with rows as the gender and columns as the preferred candidates. Okay. So basically this is going to be your x-axis, this is going to be your y-axis, looks like. Hit OK. And this is going to be what comes up with. Okay, on the x you would have horizontal axis, you would have the gender, while on the y-axis you are going to have the frequency of the candidates that they like better. Okay. When you look at this simple cluster bar chart, you can tell that males prefer A over B, while females is kind of like equally distributed between the A and B, while B has slightly higher option than the female than A. Okay, so that's about the simple cluster bar chart. Next, we want to see how do we observe the relationship between two variables. One is quantitative or categorical, and one is qualitative categorical, and one is quantitative. So look at these two columns. I'll give you 1 minute to take a look at the question and we'll come back with it. Okay, I assume you have read the problem. Okay, so basically we have treatment, which is qualitative variable, severity of the migraine, using the numbers to represent it as quantitative. Okay. We want to see if there is any difference between these two groups. Okay. So the treatment and severity. So treatment here can be considered as a factor, okay, which would affect the severity. Okay. So let's see. When we are actually using the SPSS, we're going to do analyze and explore. Okay. Okay, alright, you guys have arrived to this sheet with treatment with severity. Okay. So we want to explore the relationship between this categorical data and this quantitative data. We're going to do analyze and then explore. Okay, so that's the graphs. Yeah, so we go analyze, descriptive statistics, and you see there is one option that we haven't used, explore. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to see how different treatment is going to affect the severity of migraine. So factor is going to be the treatment, two groups of treatments, and being affected is severity. Severity is going to be the dependent list. Okay. Okay, and when you choose the what you want to see, we can choose simply the plots. So we haven't talked about specific statistics yet, so just hit the plots. And for the plots, you have options here. Okay. If you have histogram unchecked, you probably want to uncheck it because that's going to tell you how many people are under different treatments. You can pick stem and leaf to see what a stem leaf plot may look like. Continue and hit OK. So this is going to give you an output of several tables. The first table tells you how many data value has been considered. Okay. So So 10 and 10 for each group, right? 10 were given drug and the other 10 were not. And then this is the stem and leaf plot, and we'll talk about what stem and leaf plot is about, right? 3A means it's 30 on 3.A or 4.1 and 4.8 stem and leaf. Okay, now what we're interested in here is this graph, which is the box plots. The box plots. The box plots give you two groups of people. One is under medication, one is not. And for the severity symptoms, basically you can tell the group that is not given this medication has higher severity than the group that is given the medication. So about comparing these two box plots, very generally, you can see that the medication is effective in this case. Right? For migraine, you probably want to take some medication in this case. Okay guys, so that finishes our session 2 of SPSS. We have covered a lot of materials, but in general you can see that the functions or the command that we use most often are analyze, descriptive stats, and frequencies. And if you have two variables, you may need to do explore or the crosstabs. But for one variable, a lot of times we'll just use frequencies. And then check either frequency distribution or the histogram or the bar chart based on the types of variables. Okay, so that's what we have for session today. If you have any questions, please let me know. I can reach out by email, okay, and that's the most effective way to contact me. Alright, thanks.